Justice League is directed by Zack Snyder and stars Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller, Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa, Henry Cavill. And this is it, the Justice League. It's a movie. It happened. And I've been so hyped, so excited, wanting this movie and also dreading it just a little bit, like nervous, like don't screw it up, don't make it terrible. DC's been very hit or miss. Like, I liked Man of Steel, actually. I didn't do a review for that yet. I probably should. I loved Wonder Woman. I thought Batman v Superman was very flawed at times, but I actually liked it. Suicide Squad, no excuse. That was terrible, horrible garbage. But as it got closer, as the days got shorter, and it's like, here we are, it's almost here, I was getting really excited. As you know, I'm a huge Batman fan, so getting to see this guy again, I was like, I can't wait to get to see Batman and his super friends. I wanted it so bad. And in this movie, Batman, Wonder Woman are assembling the team, also including the Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman. In the absence of Superman, since he died, they gotta build this team together to protect the world, because Steppenwolf is here. He wants to collect his mother boxes and destroy Earth, and that's kind of it. It's a very, very simple story, and they don't feel the need to overcomplicate things. Yeah, not very complicated, very simple, straightforward. Assemble the team, go punch the dude in the face a lot. That's basically it. So let's talk about it. Oh, fuck yeah, Ben. Yeah, let's talk about our team. Ben Affleck as Batman. Just lay down for a second. It's hard to hold you. You're so bulky. But yeah, Ben Affleck as Batman, Bruce Wayne. I loved him in BVS, even though I didn't care for how they portrayed his character. And I'll tell you right off the bat, there's a course correction. They took where he was and, like, let's fix that. This homicidal maniac that he was, fixed it, and so it's a lighter Bruce Wayne that you can get behind and respect and enjoy more and relate to a bit more. He's a little bit self-reflective. He's changed and evolved from Batman v Superman, and he feels like he's grown as a character. There's a lot of great humor with him. He's really awesome as Batman. He gets to kick some ass. He looks cool. But surprisingly enough, he's not my standout favorite, and I'm the Batman fanboy. I'll take anything Batman. I just want to love anything Batman. But he does not, like, stand out as the best of the movie, but that's a good thing. We got some newcomers here who are able to take the spotlight and run with it, literally. But first, let's talk about Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot. I loved her in her own movie, and just seeing her return again, it's like, yes, I want more Wonder Woman all the time. Take me to Themyscira, let me see the Amazonians just hang out there for an hour, I'll take it. She's still awesome as ever, and really, the only complaint I have with her is, because this movie was made before they finished Wonder Woman, you can kind of tell that maybe they didn't quite know how to use her, because if they made this after Wonder Woman came out and proved how awesome she is, she would have been even more front and center. This, it still feels like they want to have, yeah, Superman or Batman will feel like the most important, and Wonder Woman's like third most. But in reality, Wonder Woman should be front and center leading because she's that awesome and good and just badass. Not to mention attractive, and I don't just mean for me, I mean literally my friends that are girls have told me, like Alyssa, my friend, shout out and said she wants to bone Wonder Woman. I think all my friends do. And it doesn't end there, though, because, like, everyone wants to bone half the people in the Justice League. Batman, I'll take it. Aquaman, my man. Or Barry Allen, the Flash, let's talk about that. Ezra Miller as the Flash, Barry Allen, loved him. He is the standout by far, my favorite part of the movie. He injects the most humor. He's the comedic relief of the movie, even though every other character is allowed to be funny, too. They injected a lot more humor in this movie, thankfully. But Ezra Miller, so good. You can tell he's like a Flash that's still figuring out how good he is at going fast. He's finding himself still, but he's so fun, and the, like, wonderment of, like, you're Batman, there's a bat signal, a batarang, can I keep it? Like, he's just fun. And when it gets time for him to use the Speed Force, go fast, his action is some of the most exciting, interesting, fun to watch. To get to see him go fast and do his thing, it's awesome. Then Aquaman, Jason Momoa, another great standout, because when the picture dropped, I'm like, yeah, he looks cool and tough, but is he really Aquaman? He looks more like his character from Game of Thrones. And then he shows up in the movie, I'm like, oh, I love it. He is so fun because he looks like a badass, and he is very much a bad boy of the ocean, of the sea. He talks to fish. But he's a surfer dude. He's walking around, my man, I dig it. Like, he's got a cool personality and attitude where it's like, you're fun. Like, he's a surfer dude badass, and he's just another one of the really fun, awesome characters. And when he gets to do action, him and the Flash both stand out as being like the most interesting, exciting action. Even though Aquaman has less water to play around with than I would have maybe cared for. I wanted to see a little bit of him in water more, but he gets his moments. And then Wonder Woman, whenever she's got to do action, take out the shield, the cuffs, the sword, like, she's really good too. And then Ray Fisher as Cyborg, another introduction, less fun. He's more of a dramatic point in the movie. He's discovering who he is because he's been altered. He's all, first off, he's all CGI basically, and he's like coming to grips with what he is as a person anymore, and his powers, what he can do, what he's capable of. It's a lot of self-discovery, but it's good. Like, I liked it. He was one of the more forgettable of the team. Like, he's probably the very background, like, oh, I love Aquaman, Flash, Wonder Woman, yes, Batman, oh yeah, Cyborg, he's cool too, but meh, like, he's good, but of all of them, he's the most, like, forgotten. And there's reasons for that. To quickly touch on it, you know, this movie, Zack Snyder did direct it, he made the whole movie, and then tragedy happened, he had to leave in post-production, Joss Whedon came in, they did reshoots, reworked the movie, cut it down, it was like 2.5 hours or something, and then they had to like cut and take shit out, rework it to make it just barely 2 hours. And that's unfortunate because a lot of stuff is missing. You watch any of the trailers, there's a lot of shit missing. Cyborg apparently had a lot more, The Flash had more stuff, Aquaman had more stuff. Like, there's so much stuff that's missing from this movie, and you can kind of feel it at times. Scenes feel a little truncated, like there was definitely going to be more here. You can feel that there's an absence of certain things going on. And to bring it up, Henry Cavill in this movie, they had to reshoot all his stuff because for Mission Impossible 6, he had a mustache. They had to CG that thing. Let's talk about that really quickly. I didn't notice, okay? I was looking for it because I heard the story. I would rather not have known about that because then I was like, is it there? I didn't really notice any mustache CGI work, but whatever. Some of the other CGI, like, when it's, okay, it's all red and they're flying around fighting parademons and Steppenwolf and it's all, like, CG landscape for them to fight and do action. You know, it's not the best looking CGI, but there's only one real case of bad CGI, and it's Steppenwolf, the villain, and that's probably because he's a pretty piss-poor villain to begin with. Yeah, just everything about him's bad. He is the stereotypical, he's a big guy that the heroes come together to punch, and he's got a disposable army of parademons that they can also punch and shoot and cut and hit and blast and surf through buildings on. Yeah, his disposable army, parademons being disposable and whatever, I don't mind, but like Steppenwolf is pretty generic, lame, boring, like he's got relatively nothing and his CGI is pretty horrible. Like, it's very apparent that it's not even finished. So yeah, I get it. These types of movies, whether you're bringing in the Avengers or the Justice League or your big hero team, sometimes the villains are just kind of people that have to be there to be punched in for them to fight. Big, strong dudes that take a lot of punching so they can keep fighting a team of heroes. Shit happens. You could have an interesting villain like the Joker or something, but he can't go up against the Justice League. You need the big stupid asshole to fight, and maybe Darkseid can be better in the future. I don't know. But the positive side of this is that we have a great team of heroes. I like all the heroes, their personalities, the way they interact with each other, all the banter, the witty humor, them just being on screen together. It's kind of orgasmic a little bit as a fan to just see there's Batman, Wonder Woman hanging with Aquaman, the Flash, and Cyborg, and it's fun. I was very entertained watching it, like, this is cool. And when they're working together, kicking parademon ass, it's super awesome. It's really, really great at times. Some of the action is really cool, very inspired. Some of it less so. Like, there's a mix of, yeah, that's kind of forgettable. Oh, that's really awesome. It's a very simple story. They do it really well considering there's a lot of nice tidbits, Easter eggs, fun stuff, fun little details. Sadly, from what I've heard, the post-production nightmare this movie went through, there could have been so much more. And I don't want to judge the movie based on, well, it could have been this, but there is the feeling of like, well, it should have been even better because it's the Justice League. This is the big culmination. We want it to be as close to perfect as possible because it's a big, important movie. And it's not perfect, but at the same time, we've got a great team working together. They're really fun. It's very enjoyable. There's a sense of hope and wonder and awesomeness, and it doesn't quite get as epic or as triumphant as I might want with the team coming together. I want the maximum epic qualities, and they don't quite get that. You know, I want them to bust through that roof every single time with everything they do. Not always, but some of it is really epic and awesome, and it's really fun. It's a very fun movie. DC has a reputation for being dour, dark, and depressing, but this show is like, no, we can adapt and keep our serious tone, but still be fun and entertaining, and it's just a great step forward. Like, I want more really bad. That Flash and Aquaman movie, give it to me. I really want it. I want so much more. I love what they're doing, and even though, yes, there's a backstory of Zack Snyder had to leave, his vision was compromised, Joss Whedon came in and did changes, and you hear about these things like, the movie would have been more like this, and we've lost a lot, and there's like, oh, the movie could have been this, we've lost certain things that would have been amazing. The movie we have is still pretty good, and I really enjoyed it. It's like the things that we lost would only improve and make it better, but at the end of the day, judging the movie that we have, I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with it. I was very entertained. It was a super fun time. It was just a dream come true at times as a fan, just seeing all the amazing stuff, and as having to be critical about it and be like, well, is it really good? No, the villain's not very good, and yeah, some of the CG is pretty fucking weak, but a lot of it is just like blown away like, yes, this is what I wanted. And I don't want to make the argument that it's like, oh, it's fans versus critics and only the fans will like and appreciate it. I don't think you have to be a fan of these specific comics to know every little detail to enjoy the movie. It's very accessible. It's very fun, light, witty, humorous. There's details where it's like you probably, if you know more about it, you can appreciate things more. But at the end of the day, it's a fun, entertaining movie that gives you an awesome team of heroes to beat up an unfortunately generic, bland villain that's just one purpose, to be bad and get beat up. And Zack Snyder's direction, you can tell when it's Zack Snyder stuff for sure, and when Joss Whedon came in, like, let's touch this up and throw in a joke or something. You can tell Zack Snyder's got that style. The speed up, slow down, slow motion, zoom in, up close type stuff. You can tell when he's doing it, and there's so many epic moments where it's like, that's badass, that's awesome, it's really good. You can tell Zack Snyder put in a lot of thought and care. And like, the guy's a really good visual director. He can do a lot of cool visuals and awesome action. And it's just like, the stories have to be good to assist him because he's not the best storyteller. And it's a very simple story, so it doesn't get bogged down by all these weird details. Big guy, let's make a team and punch him. Okay. The biggest disappointment in the movie kind of came after seeing it and just like hearing and then eventually looking up and reading how Zack Snyder's vision was kind of compromised and things were changed and he wanted to do things differently and this and that. It makes me like sad for what might have been and could have been possibly an even better movie if Zack Snyder had been able to finish his way. The important thing is I had fun. I wasn't blown away and in love with the movie. And yeah, it could have been better. You know, fingers crossed for the goddamn director's extended cut or something where they touch it up, fix the CGI, and throw in a lot of scenes we would have liked. An Ultimate Edition. I hate that we have to do that now half the time. Like, maybe the director's cut will be better. But the movie we got, I'm still very happy with. I would give Justice League a B+. You know, with the things we've lost, the things that were supposed to be there, and then because of so many different reasons we lost and got a different movie than originally would have had, the movie would have been better. I would have loved it more. I would have been even more enthusiastic. But the movie we got, I still found very fun, very entertaining, very satisfying as a fan of like wanting to see the Justice League. I pretty much got what I wanted, more or less. They could have like pushed it further, but judging the movie we have, I don't want to just base it all on, well, they wanted to do this. Just take the fucking movie we got, and I don't have much complaints about it. And I'd like to talk about one other thing really quickly, the music of this movie. Danny Elfman came in to replace Junkie XL because Hans Zimmer's like, I'm out, I'm done doing superhero movies. Junkie XL did do the score, and then when Joss Whedon was brought in to like touch up the movie and post-production, he brought in Danny Elfman. And yeah, let's talk about that, because Danny Elfman, there's a nice touch with the music. He brings in the classic Batman and the old Superman theme. That's really cool. What I'm pissed about is the fact that, like, the music itself, the overall Danny Elfman score for the Justice League, is more or less pretty unmemorable. There's not really a distinguishable theme, nothing very memorable about it. And we don't hear any of the already established themes. I don't hear very much of the Man of Steel theme. We get a little bit of the Wonder Woman theme. So it's like, cool, I like that. You're bringing in the classic Batman theme, the classic Superman theme here and there, just slightly sprinkled. That's really cool. Use the established themes though, because all this new music we have, it's just not that good. There's a song here or there where it's like, that's cool, but overall, it's just a wash of nothing. I can't wait for more of these movies. I can't wait to see what the Justice League gets up to next. I want more. I'm very excited. There's a light at the end of that tunnel, and it's very, very bright. I'm super excited. Comment below, tell me your guys' thoughts on Justice League. It's a very mixed movie. That Rotten Tomatoes score, it actually blew my mind. When I watched the movie and then looked at what people thought of it, I was like, really? Like, oh, okay. Oh, yep. Some's definitely bleeding. And the truth is, if you hate the movie, if you found it very disappointing, if you had even higher expectations, wanted them to do even better, okay. I'm just saying, for me personally, I really enjoyed the movie, thought it was pretty damn good. And full disclosure, I'm actually dying. I'm super sick. That's why it's taken me a little bit longer to get this video out than I wanted, because I actually feel like I'm dying. My brain is malfunctioning. My eyes don't want to stay open. I want to just lay down and die, but life finds a way, and so does Batman. So tell me your thoughts on it, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.